crap! It is -4 degrees outside here in Missouri with 30-mile-per-hour winds. The wind chill is -28. I just looked up Alaska and it's 11 degrees. What is going on here in the Midwest? How cold is it where you guys are? That's besides the point. We got to get this 69 Dodge D200 going. It can run, it can stop, it can steer. But you know what? We can't cool this motor. It's super cold, so it's not a big worry, but you gotta have a radiator and be able to cool your engine. That's just normal operation. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. So, a lot of people have actually done these first-gen Cummins swaps in these Sweptline trucks, but you know what? These Cummins are 3 inches bigger than the stock 383 that was in this thing. So, in a real life comparison, this Cummins, the guy that your wife tells you not to worry about, 3 inches bigger, if you know what I mean, if that makes more sense to you. So, most people, they actually cut out their firewall, have this motor go inside the cowl, or your old lady, it's bigger, okay? And we don't want to cut this firewall and push the motor back under the cowl. That's just plumb goofy. So what we're gonna do is a custom core support here with a little fancy stuff with the rad. Welcome back to the YouTube channel.
Currently here in Missouri, it's colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra. We got some snow, lovely outside. Gonna work on this truck for a couple hours. Try to get the fender put on the passenger side. Maybe get the core support bolted up so we can do some modifications to it to get the new radiator to fit. Messed with it a little bit last night. Got that driver's side fender just kind of mocked up on there. We're gonna get this core support put up there. These side places where the radiator used to mount will probably have to be cut off because our new radiator over there has got to be sitting on some spots down here instead of mounting through the face of it.
We mentioned before, remove the original fan here because it's going to be running this radiator here with electric fans. This gives us enough space so we don't have to cut the firewall out for the motor to actually fit and be under the cowl, which does not look the best. This is going to look a lot better with it this way, but this core support needs a little bit of fabrication so everything can work out. His original radiator fit in between here, and that just don't work.
I'll make a new support that goes up and ties everything together so it's not floating around.
So the radiator's got to be behind here because you got the hood, core support. Looks like we got hardly no room, which there's no room. Nice and tight. It's touching the pulleys right there. There's just little room for tolerance, as you can see up in there. All right, not really a huge game plan here, but just gonna start hacking away at this thing and free ball it. Cutting this out, it's a lot of the support. This thing's just springing. Got these sides off now. Maybe gonna take off a little bit of this lip here and this here. What's your reason for doing that?
Right here as far forward as possible.
Yep, but we got this in the way. Not for sure what's gonna happen there. That's a lot of the support for it. super safe. It's like a Jeep. A little tight.
Touching all up in there. There's nothing in there.
Yeah, this ain't looking good, folks. She's not fitting at all. Gonna have to cut out this support here that we didn't want to cut out. Now it's talking about notching the core support right here, bringing the radiator out. So this will just have a thick piece of metal and be flat, given that extra space that you see right there. It should be just as strong. Very nice. That might have to go, huh? Sticking up higher than anything else now. Oh, still touching. Oh. All right, ended up cutting a little bit more out of here. Still probably gonna do some more trimming across here, down through here, and notch it right through there. But right now it is fitting and it's not rubbing. You see this right here, that's where the fan used to be, but that's gonna be cut off. Other than that, everything's fitting nice and tight in there. Ended up notching around the radiator cap here, but this will be up here, so you'll be able to get it. Went ahead and make these mounts to hold the core support on, so that's nice and stiff. Since this thing's kind of flimsy and it's gonna have to hold down the hood, and it also gets the grill on it, gonna put plates on this side here, weld them on, now stiffen it up, make it strong again.
Possibly one right in here. We'll have to see where the radiator ends up.
This core support went on a vegan diet because it slimmed up. It's got all kinds of room. For the inside here, got a little pieces of rubber in there so the rad's not rubbing against the core support. Have these washers down here, so that's how it'll mount right onto here. It's hard to see, but this is the bottom radiator. It has this plate here that it's bolting to the radiator to the core support to attach it all together.
Well, two tabs on here comes out of here. And I'm gonna have a piece that comes out, go on top of that to push down on all that to keep everything solid. And it'll have two bolts going through here with adjustment on it, so you can smash that down and pinch everything together so it doesn't move and keeps it away from support.
Taking the thermostat housing off right now because it's going to be running one that's for an intercooled 5.9 Cummins. Here's the original 1991 non-intercooled thermostat housing, and this one here is for a 1997. So this is how both of them mount this direction here. As you can see, this one, the original one, it dumps out to the passenger side of the truck, and this one will have the radiator hose going to the driver's side. So it's gonna be like this and come over here. All right, so this is before where the thermostat housing bolts on right here. Replacing this plug right here with a newer one that has a sending unit that'll send to a relay to tell the electronic fans on this new radiator to kick on when it's up to temp. This is how the radiator is gonna mount to here. How's this gonna work exactly?
This will get welded to that. We'll make a plate for this, drill a hole in that to go over that. This is to be adjustable to clamp it down.
And these right here from a Honda Civic, I believe, or some type of foreign car. So those are welded on both sides. Now I got to put the tab that's going to come from here straight over. What do you think was more unsafe? The one-handed grinding that you're showing off to the subscribers, or all the sparks over the open propane bottle? The inch part is going to go down right here, then it'll 90 and come over this way. So this side will be the folded down side where it'll bolt to the brackets just welded on. This is the side that'll be flat across. Putting the plate up there, and now I need to get a mark of where this hole needs to be. So taking a Sharpie, gonna outline it there, somewhere in that general area right there. What you do to one side, you gotta do to another. And this side will be where the holes get drilled so you can bolt it. That's kind of an idea of how it's going to be, but you'll have your rubber piece right in between the rad there. Bolts go through, tighten those down where they need to be, and this will just free float and keep the radiator in place. Now I'm marking out where the bolts need to be bolted in, so we've got to get those holes drilled out on the 90-degree piece here. That's where the center of these little nuts will be welded on. Now, as you can see, this nut will go into place right above where these holes are drilled out with the flat face up against there, so I can get a good penetration and stick to there. And the holes line up, you can bolt it on. And got them mocked up where they need to be with bolts and nuts in place. Gonna tack the nuts on now. I went ahead and got this stiffened up even more. Welded this in with these rods, so it should be plenty strong. Here's those plates there. Probably will box this in right here on both sides. And also here's a better look at how the bottom of the core support is and how it mounts to the frame of the truck. Like that. Gonna clean this thing up, power wash it, and spray it with some black paint. And also gonna take the fenders off so we can spray them and undercoat the bottom sides of them here. And potentially this firewall up to this line right here will also get some undercoating or something to just make it a little bit cleaner than what it is now. This is a stock 5.9 sending unit for the temperature gauge. It is a electronic one, going to be replacing it with a mechanical one for now, which that's gonna be way back here. See that brass thing right straight ahead? Yeah. Got the core support painted satin black here, and also painted the inside here. Right now, bolting up the radiator, and then gonna throw these fenders back on the truck in the core support and get it all back together. Putting some new hoses on because the other ones were crusty. Putting the antifreeze in it now. Also, this is how this all looks with the radiator hose coming to the driver's side. That looks pretty good. Everything seems like it's meant to be in its factory. The radiator's topped off of antifreeze. Got some of these wires ran kind of where they need to be. They'll bolt to this fender here. Mostly got to get that bolted still, but it's coming together here. Gonna get the battery tray within this area here. It'll probably bolt to somewhere on this radiator bracket and also onto the fender. So gonna be using the factory Sweptline battery tray, but right here it bounces out. We're gonna need that straight because it's too wide in that area. But if we just do it about like that all the way down, let's cut that little bit off. All right, got that patch panel welded in. Simple enough, just bolts on to the inside of the fender. Those bolts are in, but it also needs a brace coming from this corner. As you can see, it's got too much flex. That's what ended up happening. The black there is how much it got extended from the original bracket that was already on it before. For the time being, that will work out. She's nice and stiff now. That's what she said. Got the good old die hardened getting hooked up and be able to crank this thing over and possibly start it up. Good old Cummins cold start for you. Don't know why people are weird about cold starts. These diesel guys are just different breed, but it's currently 23 degrees in Missouri and it feels like 16. If you're not a Cummins guy, Cummins have grid heaters rather than glow plugs, and it's supposed to be a little better than glow plugs actually. So let's see if this thing will fire up. Oh, battery just blew some smoke. Are those backwards? That thing is smoking me out. It's awful stinky in there. Just wanting to get the thermostat opened up, so Dad's letting it run for a second. We do have a slight fuel leak like you can see, but the radiator seems like it's not leaking or anything. Would have heat if the blower was hooked up, so that's awesome with us coming in the winter. But this thing sounds mean. If you can hear it behind me, I'm sure you can. This thing's really coming together. Just love to be able to hear it running under Cummins power in an old 69 Sweptline. Now also, you probably noticed that we have the voltmeter hooked up to the battery. It is not charging currently, so we'll have to look into that. Well, it took like 25 minutes, but the thermostat finally opened up. So it was way too loud to talk, but ended up throwing these wires that go to the fans, put them up. Oh my goodness. Don't touch positive and negative at the same time. About to blew up. But we put this on the battery. Fans do kick on. It is drawing cold air in, so that's going to work out good once those get hooked up. This is going to be the relay for the fans. So this will get a single closing circuit till the fans come on whenever a thing over there opens up. So black right here, this wire will be going to this plug that we put in right here. And that, once it heats up, it'll expand, complete the circuit. And then your blue will actually go to your fan wiring. White will go to accessory, so when you turn on the ignition, it'll get power, and red will go to the positive on your battery right here. But that is not going to happen in this video. We were planning to work out in the shop today, but you guys, it is freezing here. I mean, it is negative, and the old wood stove just can't keep up. And Dad, he has to go push snow because that's what he does for a living. Well, he just don't push snow. But in the winter, you got push snow. I mean, he normally don't do that in the summer, okay? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We did something a little different with this core support than what we've seen on these Sweptlines. Hopefully you can see my face because I see a lot of breath coming off of me because it's so cold in here. I mean, the lights don't even heat up. Anyways, guys, hope you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays with your family. Enjoy it, and until next time, when we get this thing out and do the first drive in it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.